Welcome to the second session of Human Digestive System. In the last class, we have seen how does the food moves from mouth to the buccal cavity. We have seen the digestion of food in which the food was converted into a moist ball and the moist ball of food is now called the bolus. Now the food has come to this part and this part is called the pharynx. This part, when the food reaches to the pharynx, it has two pathways. It may enter into the windpipe or it may enter into the food pipe. But the food is destined to go to the food pipe. It should not happen that the food goes to the windpipe. But it has both the paths open. So what happens? Actually, nature has provided us with a solution. And the solution is in the form of a flap of tissue. So when the food has to cross the buccal cavity, what happens? This flap of tissue, this tissue is called epiglottis. What is epiglottis? Epiglottis is a flap of tissue. When the food has to cross the pharynx, this flap of tissue closes this windpipe. You may see this is the epiglottis and this has now closed this windpipe. So now the windpipe is closed and the food can only go to the esophagus or the food pipe. So epiglottis prevents the food from entering the windpipe. Now the food has entered the esophagus. Esophagus is a tube-like structure which connects the buccal cavity to the stomach. Actually, you may be knowing, we have already observed that the digestion of food happens in the buccal cavity. Again, the digestion of food will happen in the stomach. But please remember that there is no digestion of food in the esophagus. It is just a conducting path for the food. But inside the esophagus, the food does not simply fall under gravity. So what happens? Actually, the full alimentary canal, not only the esophagus but the stomach and the intestine, all the parts of the alimentary canal are muscular in nature. And when the food enters the esophagus, the nerves present in the esophagus send the signal to the brain which starts rhythmic contraction and relaxation. Now we will see how this contraction and relaxation helps to push the food forward. Here is a part of the esophagus. In this part, we may find this is the bolus because esophagus, the name of the food is now bolus. The part which is above the food contracts. You may see the part which is above the food is contracting and the part which is below the food is relaxing. This contraction pushes the food downward. Now the food has moved little downward. So what happens? The part of the esophagus which was below the food is now above the food. Now this part contracts and the food is moved further downwards. Again the same thing happens. The part which was below the food is now above the food. Now this part contracts and the food is moved further downwards. In this way the food passes through different parts of the alimentary canal. And this rhythmic contraction and relaxation of muscles of alimentary canal helps the food to move further. So it is the peristaltic movements or it is the peristalsis which helps the food to move through the alimentary canal. In the esophagus, the food is moved downwards. But inside the stomach, what happens? This peristalsis happens in all the direction, which helps to churn the food and which helps to mix the food with different digestive enzymes. So when the food reaches at the last part of the esophagus, there is a ring of muscles which is called a sphincter. This muscle, this ring of muscles opens only when the food reaches to the end of the esophagus. When this sphincter opens, the food now comes into the stomach. The name of the food here is called chyme. Now the food would be converted into chyme. That is another aspect. But here what I am going to discuss is that this sphincter prevents the food from coming back to the esophagus. So normally it only happens that the food goes from mouth to the esophagus and to the stomach. And the opposite does not happen because of these sphincter muscles. Because these sphincter muscles are always closed except when the food reaches to the tip of the esophagus, there is no backward movement of food from stomach to the esophagus. But you actually might have experienced that sometimes the contents of your stomach comes out through your mouth in the form of vomiting. So actually sometimes what happens, something unpleasant comes to our body and our body wants to expel it out. In that case what happens, some impulses are created which allows this sphincter to open and allows the contents of the stomach to go to the esophagus and comes out through the mouth. So vomiting is nothing but the forceful expulsion of components of stomach or maybe even intestine through the mouth. So in this class we have seen the journey of food from buccal cavity to the entry of the stomach. And in this process, two things basically helped. One thing is the flap of tissue called the epiglottis, which closes the windpipe, and the another is a process called peristalsis, which propels the food down the esophagus and throughout the alimentary canal. I hope you liked my class. Thank you for watching.